Peace and blessings and namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today. And today's not really a rut roll moment, no. But what it is about is we're going to talk about our awakening, our gifts, our spiritual gifts, our DNA activations and upgrades. But for all of the positive things that go on, there are some scary aspects to this that some of you might be struggling with a little bit. Okay. And not too many people are talking about the negative aspects of this. And I don't even know if I really want to call it negative, to be honest with you, because it's very much a part of you. Okay. And to many of us, especially divine feminines, this is a part of our nature that we want to kind of suppress. You know, we want to hide from the world. Divine masculines, not so much. Like they're just more than willing to give it or offer it to the world, okay? In case you haven't figured out what it is that I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about your increased sexual awareness or your increased sexual potency. This is something that I discovered came along with my gifts as well, okay? And I'm not even going to say that this was a self-discovery, okay? Because it's always been with me. It's just always been something that I had tried to suppress for a very long time. Because if it is unhealthy, if your sacral chakra is unhealthy, if your sexual appetite is unhealthy, you actually end up doing more harm to yourself than any good, okay? So what we try to do is suppress this nature, act like it does not exist, but the truth of the matter is it does exist. And some of you divine masculines and feminines, okay, as you're going through this awakening process, you're understanding that this part of you is awakening too. And even though you yourself might not feel different, like you might feel like this is my everyday thing, this is just who I am. What energy are people picking up off of you? All right. I said this a long time ago when I was dealing with the church and dealing with a lot of religious institutions, that I would try to dress down, like really, really frumpy, and I didn't want to be that sexually appealing because I would notice that I would be targeted, right? And it made me very, very, very uncomfortable, okay? And then I realized something. I tried to, go back and do a lot of cleansing and stuff like that when I was a child, and things I may have been exposed to way too early in my life before the mind was mentally mature enough to understand sexual unions and sexual relationships. So what I tried to do was just clean that part out of me and just act like it didn't exist, right? But now that you're rediscovering yourself, now that you've tapped into the divine, okay, now that includes everything that was about your pure essence, even including if you were a sexually potent being. The reason why I am bringing this up is, as I'm doing my one-on-ones, I'm coming across a lot of males. Okay. And as I'm talking to them, or trying to give insight on what it is that they may need help with, I am noticing that sometimes I'm getting images about these males. Like with one of them, I saw like two giant bowling balls that was like stuck together, like two giant bowling balls, and they were heavy and big, and like in another one, I just had the word bull come across, my mind. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, these divine masculines are pretty sexually potent. All right. Oh my God, pretty sexually potent. And I didn't want to embarrass the gentleman. Okay. But, he requested a one-on-one session. And I told you before, if you do one, I might get all in your business. Okay. So I did, I said to him, I said, how's your sex drive? How's your sex life? And it kind of caught him off guard a little bit because I'm very forthright, you know what I mean? We're adults, right? We're going to get to the nitty gritty. We're going to get to the nitty gritty, right? It's nothing to be ashamed of. I didn't come here to actually judge anybody, okay? I'm not here to judge, okay? And I hear some wild stories, trust me, and I hear some hilarious stories, okay? And I'm not here to judge because chances are I've been there, done that. Or number two, if this is what you want, then we can't be hiding. We can't be hiding ourselves and only putting out the information that we think about ourselves that is acceptable. Sometimes we have to deal with the things that you might not feel as flattering or as good about. So I'm reading this gentleman and I see these bowling balls and I say, how's your sex life? And I can see him getting flustered, when he said, well, it's pretty high. And I said, yeah, I can see that. I can see that, you know. And so I go into talking to him about his relationship. And thank God he is in one, you know, and a beautiful relationship is that. Matter of fact, he's on a soulmate journey. But, you know, I felt so sorry for his girlfriend. I was like, I don't know what you're doing to her, but you might want to, you know, calm down a little bit. Calm down a little bit. Well, I'm sure she's appreciating it, but calm it down. You know, just chill out for a second. You know, go do some Pilates or some yoga, Tai Chi or something. Do something with yourself, you know. And the reason why I'm saying this to you is even with me, not too long ago, I'm going to throw this little story out there too as well. I was looking for soul tribe people, you know, in my new location that, you know, will possibly be interested in joining me in some things, you know, and helping me with what I'm building. And, you know, I came across a gentleman that came across as very spiritual, okay, way up there. Oh, his head was all in the clouds and whatnot. And I was like, okay, fine. You know, let's get together for coffee. But first, you know, maybe we should do a little FaceTime. Maybe I should introduce myself because I gave him a warning. I said that, you know, I may not be what you're used to. Okay. And I don't want you to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. So I'm going to really, really let you know what it is that I'm building, what I'm trying to get accomplished. Okay. And as I'm talking with this gentleman and I'm expressing, you know, my deep desires, my deep needs, you know, to teach and to heal and what it is that I'm building and what my theosophy is, my ideology is, my philosophy is, you know, I'm telling him all of these deep things about myself. And something told me just be quiet for a second and listen in. Because I'm watching this gentleman and he's looking at me and then he's looking all over me and then he's looking right back at me and then he's looking all over me and then he's looking right back at me. And I'm thinking, is he even paying attention? So when I got quiet, okay, this is what I was picturing him doing. Blah, 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 yoni, blah, 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 sex, blah, 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 boobs, blah, 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 love making, blah, blah, blah. Like all these things was going on in his head in the future of what it would possibly be like to be with me intimately. And he's not paying attention to anything that I'm saying. Nothing. When I realized what this really was, I didn't immediately get offended. No, because I'm like, okay, this is fine. I just cut the conversation short. And I pretty much told him, let me know what you think about the things that I've said to you. You know, either call me or text me a little later. Let me know what you think about the things that I've told you about. Well, let's just say when he did text back, that it had nothing to do with anything that I was talking about. You want to know why? Because he wasn't paying attention to anything that I was talking about. All right? Now, I'm not saying that there's a problem with having high sexual potency because this is actually going to start coming off from some of you. Okay? Especially if you're on a specific bloodline. You're going to realize that despite what it is that you think, how you think you're coming across to people, despite how you dress, okay, despite how you handle yourself or hold yourself out in public, there still may be a very strong sexual energy that is coming from you. And other people are going to pick up on that, all right? And that might not be something that you can help. All right. So there's really no point in trying to dumb yourself down or be frumpy or anything like that. It's not something that you can help. It may be a very big part of your higher nature self. Okay. Why? Because you're desiring to be in union. You're desiring to be in union and you're kind of giving that off a little bit. Okay. You're giving that off a little bit that, you know, if you're a male and you have a lot of sex appeal, and it doesn't matter what you're wearing or how you look or anything like that. You're just giving that off. And people, especially if they're lower vibrational, the only thing that they're going to see you for is that. Okay? If they're high vibrational, they're going to see the whole package. But if they're low vibrational, they're going to see you for your rod. All right. And divine feminines, as the same thing with you. Okay. They're going to see you for your yonis. They're going to desire to be in your yoni. What do we do about this? Okay, y'all get tired when I talk or I get preachy about preserving your sexual energy. Okay, you feel like I'm trying to keep you captive. You feel like I'm trying to get all scriptural or biblical on you. But the reason why I am focusing on this is because you need to understand something very, very seriously. When we engage in these sexual unions with people, we are passing off an essence of ourselves to these people, okay? And not only that, but we're also allowing access for them to tether themselves to us as well. Could you imagine, just go along with me, okay? Could you imagine being a high vibrational angelic force and you slept with a mass murderer, or you slept with somebody that is just diabolical, or you slept with somebody that was low vibrational and now they have harnessed some of your power in their wickedness? How destructive do you think that individual or that being may become? Okay? Now, on the flip side of that, you're this high vibrational being, and your purity and your light, and you're just trying to connect, and you end up sleeping around with somebody that's of dark energy. And if you're a divine feminine, you have to be even more careful because you're bringing that into you now. And then you wonder why you have spiritual confusion, right? You're wondering why you're getting spiritual confusion. The spiritual confusion is coming from your willingness to tie yourself to multiple energies. And not only tie yourself to them, but bringing them back into you. In this day and age, if you are single at this moment, you really should be working on purifying yourself. You really should be working on your celibacy. Okay? Why? Because if you're designed to come into a twin flame union, or if you're designed to be with a bashert, all right? That energy and that bashert's energy, when it now combines, it's almost cosmic. You will purify one another. But if you are dirty, okay? And what I mean by dirty, I'm not talking about in a negative way. You know what I mean? It is free will. It's up to you, okay? I'm just giving you the information. I'm not forcing you to make a stance one way or the other, nor am I judging you one way or the other. But what I am telling you is that some of this comes along with your awakening. Everything awakens. Do you understand? So please be careful. But anyway, you really want to practice celibacy. There is nothing wrong with being celibate for a while. Okay? Some of us have been, I'm sorry, y'all know that I'm a cat lady, so another one have found my way to it. This is Coco. Isn't she beautiful? And I want her to get out of here now. Go on, baby. Go on, baby. Anyway, so you want to preserve yourself. You want to clean yourself, right? Because when you get into that union, you want a cosmic explosion. Okay? And you want to be able to purify and heal your partner. And your partner should be able to do that with you as well. I know what the world says. Oh, it's just sex. Oh, it's just physical. This is not true, especially if you're in goddess energy. And here's another danger. Divine feminines, you pay attention to this a little bit more. Well, I'm not going to say this. This is happening in divine masculines too. Yeah, it is. Because some have told me some really funny stories. And I'm like, that's what you get. That's exactly what you get. But anyway, you're carrying this energy. You're carrying this divine energy. Okay? Baby, sit. Get down. You're carrying this divine... Okay, I'm sorry. Give me a second. You're carrying this God energy. You're carrying this goddess energy. You're carrying this divine energy. Now, something that is harnessing a lot of power. Okay, let's just say, let's do it. I'm not that good with watts, and electrical sockets. Okay, but what happens when you try to, Coco, what is this? They want to be on camera so bad. What is it when you try to, if you don't have the right outlet with the right socket, okay? Like say the masculine part, that sticks into the socket has more power than the actual socket itself. Like they have 3 prongs and 4 prongs and all of that stuff. And when you try to put them together, it sparks and shorts. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, I can't think of the terms right now, but I just follow the vision with me right now. So with some of you, if you're vibrating very, very high, okay, and you're in that divine essence, you're in that goddess energy, and you sleep around with someone that is not on that same level, be prepared to get stalked. Be prepared to get harassed. Be prepared to have someone that cannot let you go. Okay? Then the body is unable, a lower vibrational body, or a body that has not gone through all of its various stages of awakening, a body that is not prepared to handle goddess energy sexually. When it receives it, it blows the mind and they become addicted and psycho. I've told and warned some of you about this before. Okay? Power only concedes when matched with equal or higher power. Do you understand? Coco. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. You might need to go outside, okay? You might need to go outside. You want some attention. Power only concedes when matched with equal or higher power, okay? So you're giving your power away to someone who is not on that same frequency or not on that same vibration, okay? Then what you are doing is begging for a disaster. This happens way more with women, okay? I like to say this because, women, you carry that goddess yoni power, right? And it heals and it cleanses. But if you're doing this with somebody that's not on the same caliber as you, you're going to find yourself in a nightmare pretty doggone quickly. Clingy behavior, jealous behavior, possessive, obsessive behavior. Okay? Somebody sniffing around all the time. You can't get rid of them. Can't move them out the way. Okay? And to some of you men, if you got the magic wands, chill out. All right? Preserve yourself until you find yourself a vibrational match. Y'all think fatal attractions don't exist? They do. I'm telling you from experience. And not just my own personal experience, but the people that I deal with that are experiencing these things too. You have no idea how precious your spirit is. You have no idea how precious your soul is, your mind is. This is not something on your awakening journey that you need to be taken for granted. You're passing off power and energy to people who are just using it for their own personal gains. You're also leaving behind you a trail of tears and broken hearts that you will be responsible for answering. It's time to put away the childish things. Get into adult mode once you know who you are, okay, once you understand your power, once you truly understand your power and its effects on others, you will be damn careful with who you sleep with. Trust me, you will. Because you will get all types of negative attachments, spiritual confusion, yeah, obsessive, controlling behavior. And the reason why this is happening is because it's designed to teach you the things that you won't receive just by someone telling it to you. So now if you're out here experiencing crazy men blowing your phone up, or men that you're just meeting and they want to marry you, you done messed around and got caught up one night. I told you I ain't going to judge you, but you messed around and got caught up one night. Gave somebody something that you shouldn't have gave them. And now you can't get rid of him. He's in your energetic field. He's in your spiritual field. He's in your mental field. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Text message, phone call, social media. I don't care what it is. And he's angry at you because you're not responding. Or you're finding somebody that got caught up out there. And you done gave them that goddess energy. And if you're a male, you done gave them that God energy. How do you think somebody that is not on that energy is going to receive that? Yeah. Be careful. I am listening to your stories and I am cracking up. And I'm cracking up because I can relate. I understand it. So what do we do with this new sexual awakening? I can't tell you what to do. You know, some of you have figured out ways around it, you know. You're self-disciplining. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. None of my business, right? Whatever you got to do to release that, that's between you and your higher self and the divine. It has nothing to do with Sophie. But what I am telling you is that if you are not careful now that you have awakened, you're going to find yourself in a position that's going to be very difficult for you to get out of. God and goddess energy. This is why we have these pairings. Okay? This is why we have divine pairings. To be able to give and receive equally without one taking from the other. Do you understand? Or absorbing from the other, or infesting the other. But that's okay. You don't have to listen to me. I rarely ever know what I'm talking about. That's all for today, okay? That is all for today. Also, I'm here to announce that the Patreon is up and going, all right? I will post it in the description. I told you there are 3 tiers. There is information and excerpts from books that you will not find, well, my books and some of my writings that you will not find on my YouTube channel. However, I will constantly be on YouTube as well for people because ultimately it's about healing anyway, okay? So some of you, if you can't afford anything like this, okay, then just stay with me, all right? And you can still request my services at dragonlotusms@yahoo.com, and that is completely donation based, all right? But for those of you who are ready to dive a little bit deeper, then go ahead and join my Patreon. The link is in the description, okay? You can do the $5 package. You can do the $10 package. And if you're really feeling generous to help with the school, you can do the $50 package. And all of them, I wasn't able to successfully, it's still in the makings right now. So I'm just going to apologize in advance because I realize I have to, in order to do it the way that I really want to do it, I have to kind of implement a storefront. But I do have a post on there that shows you some of the merchandise that I will be giving away to you. Okay, remember I said this whole journey is about equal give and take. So as you are supporting me, on our journey, then I am also supporting you at the same time. And we are building our earth, okay? And we are building our group of teachers and leaders that are going out there. So the more support we receive, the more ability I have to support you and bring you on as well. Okay, so it's never been a one-man journey. Ain't that right, Coco? You want to get off my lap? I am Sophie. I love you all. Be careful. Please. Please. It's awakening in you. All right? People can feel it as well. Purify yourselves. I'm Sophie and I love you all.